There was a Australian. Did I hit record on you?
Yes.
Okay. There was
Can you angle it just slightly this way? Just slightly.
to the.
Your way, towards you. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else, Massa?
That's it.
There was a politician. I guess I won't use these. There was a politician in Australia who was like, as far as I'm concerned, let 1,000 flowers bloom. As far as gay marriage goes, there were 3 people ripped to shreds by a goddamn crocodile down the street. And I'm like, that's a politician who's got his agenda in order.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like in America, we're so hung up on these wedge issues like gay rights and trans rights and these things that they just sort of wedge in. Like Republicans are like Sith Lords. They've had this plan for 50 years, and now that plan is happening. Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing, and that's why they keep losing. And one of the great things Republicans are so good at doing. Hi, welcome to Bonding. My name is Troy Bond. This is Tori Cole.
Do you want to do it?
I didn't mean to just go right into it.
You don't want to?
That was the intro.
Okay.
But
What's up, guys?
the Democrats' plan now is to just be like, the court said we can't do that. And then Trump's like, well, I just did it. And they're like, but they said. And it just keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again. And I was connecting the dots between the Australian politician saying, let gay people get married. There's crocodiles tearing people apart, to our politicians, the conservative ones at least, going, gay people shouldn't get married and we're okay with kids being ripped apart at schools. You know, it's an interest of it's a difference of governance, I guess you could say.
We moved to Australia?
No, what? To be at somewhere where it looks like Florida on a 20-hour flight away from anyone I know. I realized there's nowhere else I'm going to live other than New York. Like, yeah, I know we've talked about this, but like, threatening me. Because every time I leave, I'm like, wow, this is nice, Shrek. This is nice. Everybody quiet. It's nice outside. And then things don't cost $13. But then like you go everywhere else in fucking America, it all looks the same. You got fucking Chick-fil-A's and whatever the fuck's it all. You know, I don't know where I belong. It was almost a crisis. Yeah. And then I had to be like, well, if I go to LA, I'm sure I'll assimilate there the same way. I assimilated here, but like here's home, and
here is home is beautiful.
A lot of people find Colorado to be their home later in life. You know, that's like where white people go to settle when they're going out west to find themselves, and then there's just something about Colorado that goes, this feels quite white. Like you. If you weren't as ambitious as you are, I could see you living out there.
It's beautiful. I thought I was going to live there after college, and then I came here.
You came here?
Yeah.
What was it about here that made you pick here over Colorado?
I couldn't get a job in Colorado. The market was bad out there.
Yeah. And, were you trying to get a job in advertising?
Yeah, advertising.
Is it hard for women to get jobs in advertising? Or is everything I know from Mad Men been updated?
So account is very much for women. Typically account people are women, but strategy was really hard for me to break into. That was my goal. But I tried to do that, and they were like, you need to be a man with a PhD.
Strategy meaning like, all right, here's the plan.
Yeah, like so in marketing, there's like 4 or 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
One is account, they manage everything. One is the creative, they do all the creative work. And then strategy is kind of the liaison between the two of like, okay, the client, the account team's like the client wants it to be green.
I have watched Mad Men.
Okay, yeah.
I understand a little.
Totally. And then the strategy team says, well, let's think about what people like.
Yeah.
They like green. And then they go into all the like, psychology behind it. And then they say to the creatives with the account help, like, okay, this is what the client wants. This is what the findings are. You create something.
Advertising is such bullshit, isn't it?
Trash.
And it's like it's such a new thing. It's like a 100 and something years old.
Yeah.
Or like the way we use it now.
Cigarettes. Smoke them all day.
That's what the first episode of Mad Men is. It's like Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
We get them toasted. And it was all the whole premise. I don't know if you ever watched Mad Men. The whole premise of the first episode was like it was when they had put out the Surgeon General warning saying that cigarettes were going to kill you, and all the cigarette companies were trying to figure out how they were going to market their cigarettes now that there's this thing that says, oh, we have to put this on the box that it's going to kill you. And John Hamm's character is like sort of this advertising whiz, and he asks them at the board meeting, he's like, how do you make your cigarettes, gentlemen? And he goes, we spray them with insecticide, we toast them, da 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 da. And then he's at a chalkboard and he goes, there you go, Lucky Strike. They're toasted. And for some reason, that would make the public think, okay, that's going to cook out whatever the bad chemicals are, which we obviously know did not work. But like as someone who has to constantly promote shows, I think advertising is bullshit. I think word of mouth is the best way anything gets around. Like anytime you watch a Netflix show, was it ever advertised to you on Instagram and then you went, I got to check this out? Or did like so many people talk about it? Or did you see it so many times where you're like, I guess I'll finally check out what this is? Most of the stuff I consume comes from people telling me about it.
Yeah, no, that's organic marketing. And I think that is the strongest type. The
best type. Yeah. That's why social media is so fucked right now, because that was once the most organic marketing and everybody sort of jumped on the bandwagon, and now there's a boom, soon to be bubble, soon to be recession. And if you don't pace yourself, you should, if you're a creative, you should listen, you should go by the doctrine of Andre 3000, where he's like, I put out music when I have music in me to put out.
It's
like,
beautiful.
Don't ever forget that the music is don't do it the opposite way.
That's like me with clips.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I didn't mean to jump on that. But yes, I feel the same way where I'm like, I want to share this. But right now it's like you hear of like, if you post 3 times a week, then the algorithm starts to click with what you're putting out and then it pushes it out more. But
you know what that always sounds like to me? People who don't have a creative bone in their fucking body and try to put a process on something that's magical.
That's beautiful.
That's what I think about.
I'm going to be a little
rules, Batman. You want to know what I think about your little post 3 times a week on Instagram? I think that you're a little schemer and you want to sell your flat tummy tea and whatever other meandies you have inside. You know, I just post things, whether it's a bit at 6 in the afternoon, which makes my agent very happy, or a Star Wars sketch where there's a phantom racist conjugation to a certain character at 3 in the morning. Both of them get likes.
Well, you have a magic touch, I will say. People are drawn to you.
I don't know if that's true. I don't believe in a magic touch.
I believe you have such charisma that reads into a phone and somehow it just sticks on everybody. I believe that.
If at this point
you're
no, I'm saying you've had job security for 3 years by this point, so you don't have to.
I'm not doing this. You know,
I can't believe in that. That's the thing. You know, like I would like to, and I do think there are some people who are naturally better at doing things than others. But I never feel like I know what I'm doing. I feel like now more than ever, I have the confidence to do the stupid ideas that I've always wanted to do. But before I go on stage, before I do a meet and greet, before I put out a sketch, sketches are a lot harder because you're performing in front of an invisible audience.
Right.
And I've been doing the green screen stuff so much, and it's been so much fun. And I've been having a blast learning like visual effects and seeing what I can just do by myself. And I'm going to do a little bit of it later. But it's harder because, and it's why I love stand-up so much, because stand-up, it's right there. It's like, I know right then and there if that idea worked. With sketches, it's weird too, because one of my first blow-ups was Modern Seinfeld, and that was an idea that I sat on for years. I posted one a year before they blew up, and then they blew up. You sent me that screenshot that you did this morning when I was at like 100K on Instagram.
3 years ago.
3 years?
August 22nd.
August 22nd,
You
2022.
hit 100K.
Yeah,
I
I remember because that week I was climbing like 10K a day, and my mother was with me in town. It's like the best time to have your mom in town with you. And my mom checks my numbers way more than I do. Like, and she gets into fights with my aunts, or with my aunts and other people in my comment sections. Apparently, I look like I'm back on drugs, which is great.
So your mom told you?
No, that's what my mom asked me, because I posted a clip from one night we did it stress. There was one night we did it stress. I was so tired right before I went on stage. I actually fell asleep. I think it was Friday. And I woke up while you were on stage. No alarm, no nothing, just because I can do that.
It's time.
And even Vinny was like, yeah, I saw you were sleeping back there, but I thought I'd let you rest. Head on. That was a great Vinny Brand impression. That's for you, Vinny. And then I got on stage and then did an hour, which probably isn't great for your brain to like wake up, chug 3 Red Bulls, and then go do it. But like I edited the clip, and like maybe it's because I look at myself so much, or I've seen me fucked up on stage to where it doesn't even register. But I was like, I mean, that weekend at Stress, every time I'd even order a drink, I couldn't finish it. Like I'm sort of starting to age out of drinking. It's bad. Like I feel my gut health getting more sensitive now in my life.
That happens in your 30s.
Yeah, I'm not 30 yet. Don't put me there, bitch. I'm
like that.
26 for the rest of my life, if anybody asks me. But I ordered a bunch of creams, and I'm considering Goop.
Okay.
Because I was like, what's you comments are so bad, but you have to read them sometimes to get a gauge on your audience. Like, I'm really excited to do a lot of the Dr. Brentis stuff, but there's one comment, which won't deter me, but it lives in my head forever. When I posted the first video on my YouTube, somebody commented, "Brother, don't nobody want to see this shit." And like, that stays in my head. It reminds me of when I went to go see The Last Jedi in Harlem. And that was a divisive Star Wars movie. That was the first movie I ever walked out on. And then I quickly walked right back in because I was like, I got to see how this happens. And by like the midpoint of the movie, a lot of the audience was upset. And Yoda, you just see the back of his head on screen. And this is at the Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem. And when you see Yoda's head on screen, you just hear some dude in the back go, "This motherfucker now." And like, that always stuck in my head because I try to think whenever I'm doing anything, the best way to do it, like the podcasting works because it's just me and you talking, but we're talking to, probably 1,000, 2,000 people.
Hey guys.
How's it going? Hope your drive to work is going well. Pee in a cup right now. Give it to somebody. Say, "Hey, brought in coffee just for you." And then take a sip and you go, "Haha, you drank my piss." And then tell them Tori told you to do it.
Got him.
Yeah. Listen to the Two Girls, One Cup podcast. But yeah, sorry, I kind of came in hot. My brain has been in a bunch of different places lately. I just wrote like 2 essays on, there's a Star Wars show, Andor, that's out.
Okay.
And it just finished, and it's very much a political allegory to what's going on
what
right now.
Politics. Got it.
Well, politics is everywhere right now, and it's hard for it not to be. And
I just go, la, 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 la.
Yeah, that's great. That'll help.
You're going to love that. Yep, that's right. I said what
Well,
I said.
listen, there's a lot of people who feel that way. Like, there's a lot of my friends who I talk to who are like, Brent is one of the smartest people I know, and he's pretty politically engaged. But the last like 3-4 times I've talked to him, he's like, I haven't even paid attention. And I get that. Like, I like to, maybe it's because I go to different parts of the country and I like to sort of see what's going on, the intricacies, the ins and outs. It's exhausting. I don't think you should watch cable news 24/7 because you hear a lot of the same phrasing, and it's not really news either. It's just, how do we fill out this hour so we can get paid for Cialis commercial advertisements, right? And you watch, if you spend a day watching the big three, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, you'll find, here's what happens. The news happens in the morning, right? So like between 5 and 7, a little bit of news happens. Then from 7 to 10, a little bit of news happens. But those shows run from hour blocks. So every single hour block, it'll be President Trump declares that all Taco Bells must be shut down due to tariffs on Mexicans. More on this. We are joined by Kathy Griffin, George Lopez, and Anderson Cooper. And then the next show will do the same thing. And the third show will do the same thing. And then by the end of the day, you're going, well, what news am I really getting here? Am I just getting opinion all day? Some people need, I'm like one of the people that need to have something buzzing all day long. And I'm glad it's the news. I wish it was sports. It can't always be Star Wars because then you just talk to them and you see the gray go behind Tori's eyes. But I love when my favorite things blend, and art and history. They said Andor was a show about what happens when history comes knocking on your door. And they filmed this like 2 years ago. And it's lauded as like being one of the most... A lot of the problem with nerd projects, I'll let you speak soon. A lot of the problem with nerd projects is they stay in their adolescence. And there's a whole base of adults like me, like my father, who grew up with that stuff. And the content doesn't tend to grow up with them, right? Mm-hmm. And Andor matured with its audience, or the audience who seeks those political allegories in what the deeper meaning of Star Wars is. Happy birthday, George Lucas. 81 years old. Said when he sold Star Wars to Disney in 2012, he wasn't going to be around to make the 3 new ones. Well, George, you fucked up on that one, my brother. You did 2 fuck-ups, midichlorians and selling them the Disney. But I digress. I love when... I don't like clapter. I don't like doing things because everybody agrees with it, but I love when art is so stunning it makes you cry. Like, I had tears in my eyes because they did 3 episodes every week, so it was like 9 episodes altogether. Every time I watched an episode of Andor, I just had tears in my eyes. Not one lightsaber, not one mention of the Force, nothing. I just the storytelling, the acting. I go into a whole deep dive into it on a certain point of view. But like it. Yeah, I got other stuff I got to promote over here, kid.
Yeah, my Tori's Stupid podcast. Please check it out.
Yeah. But like, try to amp it up the way I did my other one.
Well, I don't have a voice right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're doing a audio medium. But it was good to do Stress Factory because we haven't done. When I first started touring with Tori, it was the Tori tour. It was I did not go. We went to every corner and sector of this country together, and I was very excited. Let me get up. I want to pull up my dates right now because we have some. We have some great. Oh, we also got an email from the pod that I wanted to shout out from one of the people. You can send us emails all the time at troybondcompany.com@gmail or at bondingpod@gmail. I forget which one I forgot the password to, but send them in. We'll find them. We have, by the time you're listening to this now, I'm going to be in Rochester May 15th, 16th, 17th. Emerald City in Seattle, Washington, June 13th, 14th, 15th. I am going to be in Batavia, Illinois, June 19th, 20th, and 21st. Tel Aviv. Be coming out to do a little guest spot there. Charleston, South Carolina, June 26th, 27th, 28th.
Can I come?
I think that Rosie. I gave that one to Rosie. But you are going to be going to Boise, Idaho with me, July 26th.
Yes.
Which is my anniversary in comedy. Yeah. That's my that was the day I was on Jimmy Fallon, July 26th, 2013. Boise, Idaho, July 26th. Then Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, July 27th. And some more day. Plano, Texas, September 5th and 6th. Magoobies, Tori will obviously be there October 16th, 17th, and 18th. And June 6th, I'm going to be running another hour at Broadway Comedy Club.
And I'll be there.
And you will be there. You'll be there. Just call your name and she'll be there. Do some new jokes though, because a lot of some people are gonna be there.
I will.
Yeah. Make sure they're good.
Okay.
I agree. One of the things that there will be cucked immediately. It's not because you're not a man that you're not in charge of strategies, because you got no fucking balls.
It was a really good
Closed mouths don't get fed. I've taught you a lot over these years, and you took a lot of those lessons.
No, I agree.
That's right. You agree with me.
I always agree.
Because I ain't got to tell you no shit. You know why? Because I hated like when I would ask my dad a question, and then he would tell me an answer, and he wouldn't really know the answer. And then I would walk around with that shit in my head thinking that was the answer. Yeah. So if somebody asked me a question, I'm not going to give you the answer unless I know for sure what I'm talking about. Because then it leads back to me. And I only need things to lead back to me if it makes me look good.
Yeah, amen.
Or a woman.
Yes, Lord.
We'll never be royals. What's going on with you? Did you enjoy? Oh, I said all that to say, one of the things I think about when I think about our first year on the road is that drive that we're going to do again from Boise to Salt Lake.
Maybe we can skip City of Rocks.
We can skip it because I think that's what killed you. But getting to see all of America with you and getting to see that part of the country and driving through it. And I was auditioning for Superman at the time. And so I wasn't even really appreciative of what I was experiencing because I was just trying to get my lines for Jimmy Olsen down. And I find myself thinking back on that part of the tour a lot because I was so lucky to have you. That was when my girlfriend at the time gave me the ultimatum of like, you got a month to figure out if you keep drinking or you want to be with me. Which I chose drinking. Don't advise because I kind of ruined my life for a little bit after that, but I'm back in the middle now. Yeah. Mama say, Mama Makusa. But throughout all of it, who has been with me but my friends? Me. And you especially.
My friends, and you. No,
that's right. What friends are for.
Yeah, it was a great year.
It was a great year.
I'll never forget that year.
And it's a year.
Keeps going.
Yeah, every time keeps on sipping. I would have thought that you were doing your own tour by now, but that's okay. Things would have, that's my fault. That's my fault because the most important, we're standing in this moment in time right now, and we're often not stepping in it. We're just standing in it. So you got to step in it. That's what I do on stage when I feel like, what's my next joke? What am I going to do next? I just put my feet down into the stage, even if I'm standing on both of them, and I really stand in the moment and I go, what is the room telling me the next joke has to be? The worst thing you can do is think. Yeah, I learned that from Michael Jackson, like him talking about dancing, and dancing and comedy are very different, but like the pops that you get from the audience and the reactions are the same. And every time I think about, like, if I'm doing a new bit, oftentimes I'll post that bit the day I did it, and because that'll be the best it ever got.
I do that too.
You do?
Yeah. Which I know it's like I should polish, just add a few more tags, but then there's that freshness to it.
Yeah.
The excitement it comes through.
It comes through, and there's also like, I think there's a thing in you that goes, oh, I still do know how to do this. What sucks is like, this is my dream job, and I sacrificed everything in my life for a sunrise most people never get to see, which is a paraphrased butchered quote from Andor season 1.
Thank you for the.
Not that you gave a shit.
No, I liked it.
Cared she did not.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like when you cite your sightings on a paper.
I don't know. I never went to school.
Okay.
I just learned it from the streets. I'm like Jay-Z with it. It's all up here. Let's go see Mufasa. No Diddy. The point I was trying to make has escaped me. What would you like to discuss now? It's been 22 minutes and I feel like I've monologued at you.
You were finishing up your thought on touring.
Touring and getting to do it with you and getting to do it with people is most important to me. Like, I really don't. It's an expenditure, touring. I've spent more money on comedy this year than I've made in comedy. And from a business perspective, that's really dumb and really bad and probably impulsive. But the result I get and the product I get as a result, like, I have these shared memories with, we started the year in Nyack.
Yeah.
And
that's like a long time ago.
It was just in January, which was like, what, 4 months ago?
Well, in
January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, well, 5 months ago,
Yeah.
And I was just talking to Brent a year ago. We were at Magoobies. Mm-hmm. Time means nothing. It's like money. They're both useless unless they're used to help other people.
That's beautiful. I'm reading a book right now about time management. Guess how many weeks we have if you make it to 80?
How many weeks? 52 times 80, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 2,500?
4,000.
Damn, how did I fuck up that bad?
That was pretty bad.
Wait. I don't know how I got there.
I was like, he's gonna.
That's
get
why I'm a
this.
philosopher.
I was like, this motherfucker,
not
this
a
little
mathematician.
Genius. Yeah, 4,000 weeks.
4,000 weeks. If you make it to 80.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot.
Really? I feel like if someone hands you $4,000 for a weekend, you're kind of like, all right.
No, you wouldn't be like kind of all right. You'd be like, oh, well, air conditioning.
Different people here.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody hands you $4,000, you go, all right, then kill yourself. That's $4,000.
Right.
Be excited.
No, obviously.
What was your point? I'm sorry. It doesn't seem like a lot of time.
To me, I feel like you got to really make because a week goes by quick.
Week goes by in 7 days.
And then you have 3,999. And then you check the next box.
Do you feel like you're counting down in your life?
No, that's a really good question. I think time only gets better as you get smarter and the relationships you have get stronger and then they mean more. Like, I have so many friends from high school that mean so much to me now, and our friendship over the last 4 years has been like one of the most special things
work
I
friendship,
have.
yes.
And it's just really cool to see where things go. And I mean, I fear aging as a woman, but
I would too.
At the same time,
you saw what I saw. No, you've only gotten hotter as I've known you.
That's kind.
Everybody who I know, because I didn't start having friends till I was like 26, and that was before I got famous, so I know they're real friends. And all of my friends, with the exception of like one or two who have lost their hair, have gotten better looking because I feel like the people in my friend group know who we're all around the same age, and you don't. I used to think it was a personality trait, not doing things or not being places that I don't want to be at. But really, that's just a part of getting older and knowing what to put your energy into. And I think once you start lining those things up, you have your life, which is this map that you can't control, and the car that takes you through this map is your body, and what you put inside of it is your gas, and what you put on top of your face is your what do they call it when you get a car tuned up? I don't know, a license. Your painting, your detailing. That's your moisturizing, your toothbrushing, your bidets, what have you. I think we need more bidets in this lifetime, because I clean my ass thoroughly. I come a little bit each time I clean my ass. Dude wipes.
I know you love.
You could eat out of my ass if you wanted to.
I wouldn't like to.
I'm just saying, if somebody wanted to, clean ass.
You should have a dude wipe.
Sponsorship?
Yeah.
I'll try one right now.
Dude wipes.
Hi, if you're like me, you shit. And when you shit, you've got to wipe. Now, oftentimes when we wipe, there's still a little bit of the screen there. Well, what's next? Do we transition into the next scene? Or do you walk around with a little bit of dookie in your drawers? That's where dude wipes come in. Dude wipes. Wipes for dudes. Also available for women. Lady dude wipes.
That's good. That's good.
Do women could use dude wipes as well, right?
We should have lady wipes.
Hi. If you're nothing like me, you're a lady, and you be pooping. Now, if you're a lady on the go, you're shitting in private with music, water, or loud noises on to distract everybody. Now, if you're going on a long trip with your boyfriend, you don't know what to do. Afraid of leaving stains behind. Didn't pack enough thongs. Well, that's where lady dude wipes come in. We're here to clear it all out. That's right, nobody should be walking around with a dark anus. Lady dude wipes. Please Google us twice before ordering our product.
Brilliant.
This podcast has been on for 4 years. Where's my goddamn advertising?
What the fuck? All right, well, now we wait.
I'm good at off-the-fly ads.
Tampons.
Give me
Go
tampons. Are you running late to that flight, and all of a sudden your Aunt Flo has just torn open your white leggings and everybody can see that you've got your period? Well, dare I say, ... That's 3 in a row. We've got the solution. Tampons. They're not available everywhere, but they are with our brand new invention, the Porta Tampon, for the traveling businesswoman that has frequent menstrual cycles. Tampons will stop that blood before a bear gets to you. Ever had to sit next to a girl on a plane right before she got her period? Whole plane will smell like wet pennies. That part wasn't in the script. I just thought I'd add it in.
That was good. I know
you're the advertisement. I figured they would cut it in.
That's good to bring a little personal touch to it.
I tried, that time I didn't, because there was a lot of blood and I didn't want to be anywhere near it. But I felt bad for her, because like I'm not going to mention who, but we were running to the gate and customs was so bad.
Yeah.
And she started running and my knee had like been bummed out. And like, I was like, listen, if you got bored the plane and go without me, go without me. And I'm like limping by the time I get to the gate, and I'm a baby when I'm a baby. I'm like, oh, my knee.
Don't I know
I won't live. Oh, God. And you're not going on the road with me anymore. Oh, God. You're supposed to say, wow, Troy, you're not difficult at all. You're too hard on yourself. And then we sit down, and she's like, I got my period as we were running. And I'm just like, we should get a tampon out of the, and they're like, they don't have any in here. And I'm like, it was like a wake-up call for me as a dude. I was like, they don't have tampons on this airplane? Post 9/11? No tampons? I don't know how I can change that, but that bothered me.
Yeah.
That there's not, like, accessible tampons everywhere. What do you do if you're homeless? You got to choose between food and a tampon. You're probably going to give yourself some kind of disease. All hygiene products should be legal. Yeah, like, what's your solution to that? I
usually have tampons.
Yeah. Because you just never, even if you're tracking it, you don't know, right?
Yeah, you usually a good window of opportunity.
Yeah.
I just have it in my bag at all time.
Yeah.
Emergency tampons.
Yes, that should be something in Batman's utility belt.
Yeah. Out of your belt.
I don't really know what to do. What end do I put in?
Do you know how many tampons a girl uses during her period?
I would assume 7.
7.
1 for each day?
No.
Oh.
You gotta change it a few times.
A day?
On the flow. Yeah, like 2 to 3.
So it flows a few times during the day?
Not 7 days.
It doesn't flow every day.
It flows all day.
It flows all day. Just like me.
Yeah. I got 7 McAliffers, about 8 38s, 99 tampons, 10 Mac, then shit never end. You can't touch my riches.
and I got my ovaries coming out with 357 eggs. Biggie Smalls, the millionaire, the minstrel.
That's good.
No, it wasn't.
That was pretty good.
You supported me on that.
I think
I'm learning a lot about periods
It's
right now
good,
because
yeah.
usually this grosses me out and it shouldn't.
You're
but I'm
being
trying
so
to be
strong.
brave. Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed a woman to tell me that
Yeah.
because I don't know. I still don't really know what a period does. If you, I think I have a general idea, and I know I'm against it because you guys seem like you go through a lot of pain.
What do you think a period does?
It sheds
Yeah.
an egg out of your ovary for a week, and that's where the blood comes in. Because you had sex before marriage, probably, and that's God punishing you. How close am I?
I think that's pretty good.
What is it exactly in dude terms? How could
I
I?
think it's like the uterus is shedding.
Uterus. That one I know. Fallopian
Yeah.
tube.
Something like that. It sheds.
I know about them too.
Unused
Eggs.
eggs.
Yes.
Because it's
And
like,
that's-
we don't need this. They didn't.
Do you ever
use
see the
this.
egg? Or-
No. I don't know how little they are.
Yeah.
No idea.
Was that an ignorant question?
I thought the same thing.
Because I've looked at my sperm to see if they're swimming
Really?
sometimes. Yeah.
Have you ever seen them swim?
I mean, they're in the water. I can't tell if it's
You've
like the
never
motion
like
of the water.
gotten up
I've never,
close.
no, I've never like what come in my hand and be like, I've never been like, hold on, baby, stay in the toaster strudel position. It's like sea monkeys.
It is kind of crazy though, because it's like they move quick, but you never
Yeah.
see it.
They shoot out quick and then
I want to see it. I want to put it in a jar of water.
Tori,
and hold
don't
on to
put
a
this out
light.
there in the universe.
Come on.
You're gonna get some
You've
weird
never
packages.
Wanted to like maybe come into a jar of water and then you hold it up to a light and then you watch it all swim.
I have
That's cool.
peed after sex
Uh-huh.
and she has taken too long and I've peed into a bottle and there's a little bit of post cum and it's
Okay.
in there in the bottle. But he's not like doing the breaststroke.
You didn't see any movement.
He was dead on arrival. I don't know what it is about vaginal secretions or swimming to the egg that keeps it alive. Maybe it wasn't the
I'm
temperature of the room.
curious.
Well, keep that to yourself, George. I don't know how it works either. I have a pretty basic understanding of what my role is,
Okay.
and that is to pull out, get a towel, and hug for about 20 minutes and hope she goes to sleep so I can put on Andor.
That's good.
It's the best I
Alright.
can do. I'm okay with not a lot of night sex happening in my life these days. A lot of morning sex.
Okay.
I don't know if that happens as you get older. You wouldn't know either way. It's a I've been getting up earlier, which I think makes me more tired at night.
So you don't just.
Yeah, like after a show, the last thing I want to do is fuck. I want to hate myself and watch the tape and throw shit all over the hotel walls about how fat of a fucking pig I am. There's nothing about it that makes me feel like, yeah. And also like I'm conscious of the lover I've become because of that book, Boys and Sex, where it said most guys, when they are talking about having sex with women, they don't say, I made her feel good. It's usually like, I fucked the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And not saying that like that's always what I'm thinking, but I try to,
Totally.
the performer in me wants to make sure that, you know, was that good for you too? Without having to ask.
Yeah.
Performing is listening.
Yes.
And
You
I can
always taught
usually
me
tell
that.
when they're faking it.
Pretty
I
good.
ate a girl out upside down recently.
Upside down.
Yeah, she was on the edge of the bed and yeah, inside out, Diana Ross, baby. And
Sorry, Mom.
yeah, I'm not. Mom, if you're listening, blah, 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 that's what I was doing to someone else, not my mother.
Sorry, Mom.
And her head was like off the edge of the bed and like all the blood was going to her head and I kept trying to pull her out and she was like, no, I'm passing out. I like it. And I was like, no, get your ass back up because that's going to be some explaining I'm going to have to do.
Damn, that was graphic.
I get wild on this podcast.
I know you do. I know you get wild everywhere.
This is the
so-
only the podcast where I could talk about
No,
me.
that's
The other
good.
two I got to keep
I
structured.
think it's important to have free speech. So
I don't
thank you for
eat out a
sharing
lot,
that.
you know?
Yeah,
I do. I think more than DJ Khaled. I eat
would
out way
hope.
more than he does.
I would hope.
Yeah, no, I used to a lot, and I don't have an excuse for it. I should more probably.
Well, now you can try again.
Well, I
now that
mean,
we've had this chat. Now that you're aware.
there were no complaints. It was just a different experience. And that's what life is all about. Just having a different experience once in a while.
Yeah.
But you can't go out expecting to have a different experience.
No.
You need to, like, you know how many times I've been on the road? Yes, you do. With like $10 in my pocket. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through this weekend.
And I'm like, here's my credit card.
And that gets us nowhere. That just becomes a... Because the first year of touring, when I was making all the... I mean, like, I'm still... The cash flow is still coming in, but it's a new thing. And you're plugging up all these holes that you think money's going to fix.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't fix it. And you are buying up life-size everythings. And you have two R2-D2s so you can have someone to talk to at night. And you're like, oh, there's a experience aspect of life. We're not having experiences anymore.
You are.
I'm not... We're not conscious of it when it's happening. I don't want to have this reflective experience.
Totally.
I want to be, I don't want to center on my anxieties. I want to keep my concentration here and now where it belongs. Like right now I'm thinking, did I do too much of an Asian voice in this sketch that I did that's called The Phantom Racist, when I really should be thinking,
you're sitting here with me right now.
and that's what I do. Well, I remember reading in Rob Lowe's book once. He was doing a play. I think it was 12 Angry Men. And he had to deliver this monologue where it was like a 8-page monologue, and the story and the rest of the actors' directions were heavily based on the reaction of the monologue. And he on stage had the thought, "Oh, I have to call my brother back," and blew past like 7 pages of the dialogue, and everybody on stage was like pale faced. They were like, how are we supposed to move? What do we? And in that moment, he was like in character. He went, "Your Honor, if we could, I'd like to circle back," and then went and did the monologue pages again. But that's a professional sliding off his game and then proving why he is. You know, like, yeah. And I feel like people our age don't really have any regency or anything to say that's ours, that belongs to us. To prove that's why we are at the top of our game, or that's why we have what we have. And that's when you get ego, and that's when you get destruction, and there's no serenity. It's very hard to be bored. Bored and calm are basically the same thing.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. When you're bored, you're sitting down, you're watching TV, there's nothing on fire. Nobody's dead. When things are calm, you're sitting down, you're watching TV. Nothing's on fire. Nobody's dead. You know what I mean? Like the feelings of bored and calm are very similar, but bored has a negative connotation to it, which leads to, I got to stimulate myself somehow.
Right.
And then you go out, and there's that old Bill Cosby bit where he was like, people need the 5-day work week because they go out for 2 days and they smoke and they drink and they come back and they said, I need to be in the office. I can't be by myself again. But he was out raping.
Right. Can I say something though?
You may.
I do think there is a discomfort in boredom that there isn't in calmness.
Yes.
Where when you're bored, you're seeking something, whereas when you're calm, you're present.
Yes, and the point, I don't disagree with that. I have no contention. I'm saying a lot of the time, boredom and calm are the same thing.
Yeah.
And there are those times where you're bored and you're seeking a thrill. You're seeking something. You want that.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I have to force myself to be calm because there's always an impending... Was that a Zin?
Yeah.
You've had a Zin in this whole time?
Yeah, sorry. It's getting
I'm
wet
just so
and soggy.
disappointed in you.
Sorry.
I don't know why, because I smoke. I have no right, but
Sorry,
I'm just...
I could have left it in. It just was...
No, I don't care about it
lived
being
its
in and out.
course.
I'm just so upset that they got you.
You were making a really beautiful point. Can you keep going?
Yeah, the tobacco companies do this hook, line, and sinker thing every few years where they figure out a new way to get you. They're toasted. Oh, we can't do that anymore. You were bored, so you popped us in. And then when you have a giant hole in your cheek, you're not going to be as calm.
You're right.
What are you going to do then? How's your act going to sound?
Well, why don't you stop
I'm
smoking?
sorry.
How about that?
Why don't I stop smoking? Because it makes me look cool. When you get 802,000 Instagram followers, then I'll stop smoking.
Okay.
But it's working for me right now.
Well, then the Zins are working for me right now.
Not by the clip numbers I've seen. You see, that's what you need in your life sometimes. Someone to keep it 98 plus 2.
I know.
And I don't say that in a mean way.
I know.
I say it in a way that, like, because the way they say it to me now, it's so suits and sugar-coated, and I speak bullshit, so I know what's being said. And I think everybody needs advice. I've tried zenning, it didn't do it for me, but I also smoked crack, so the barometer there is pretty wide. It's a nootropic tobacco. It's good. If I'm editing, I find myself vaping a lot. I don't smoke cigarettes really as much anymore, but I'll put a little tobacco in a spliff. I'm not going to shame you for zenning, though I just did. But just know they got you.
Okay. That's fine.
They got you.
I can accept that for right now.
And you can no longer call yourself a free thinker. Do you go on the dance floor when the cha-cha slide hits? What about Cotton Eye Joe? Any wedding dance at all? Not a dancer?
Not the choreographed ones.
Oh, which ones do you do? Teach me how to Dougie? What the fuck was that? Everybody get on stage right now for the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing Tori from the window. She's having a seizure. I ever tell you about the time my mom was having a stroke and my dad called me? It was right after a Spider-Man movie came out, and he called me, and I thought he was calling me because he wanted to hear my review. And I talked for like 8 minutes about the Spider-Man movie, and then he goes, yeah. So listen, your mother's having a stroke, and she won't get in an ambulance right now. And I hear my mom in the background just being like, elephant dentists have no jurisdiction near any court. And I'm like, Dad, get her in an ambulance. Like, you are a 6'3" black man. Pick up your wife and put her in the car. And I'm like having an argument with my mom over the phone, and she's like, I'm not having a stroke. And the next day she was like, yeah, I might have had a little stroke. And then she lost all this weight, and now she's doing better. I got to see her. Both my parents came to the Wilbur Theater in Boston.
I wanted to ask, how was the Wilbur?
The Wilbur in Boston I didn't really grasp it until I was there. I didn't really realize, because I don't really look into venues before I go into them. I like to, like I said, be there when I'm there.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't fully sell out, but I had like 500 plus people. It's like 530, 560, whatever. If there was 500 people in this room, where would I put them all? It was a feeling of, like, every year since I'd say 2016, there's been like one career thing that's happened for me that I could pinpoint as being like the thing for that year. And I think that might have been the thing this year, just because when I realized the history behind the theater, the acts that performed there, the people that came out, getting to do a theater in front of my parents. They've seen me perform before, and they've seen me perform at big venues, but it was important to me that they got to see their son in the theater, because I know they feel guilty about a lot of the things I talk about, and a lot of what I have been put through. And it's also important for me to have a visible relationship with them, because I publicly can shit on them sometimes, and it could look like, that I carry around all this trauma, which maybe I do, but like I definitely do, but like I don't fault them for it, and it's something I work on. And it was just at first I couldn't tell where my dad was, and then I heard someone go hee hee, then I looked and I went, that's him. And then I had them turn the house lights on, and there he was in a fedora, 2 chains. He gave me this, I should have it on right now. He gave me this ring of see if I can put it up there, of the this is the first Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. He was the one that started Buddhism. He was royalty, and he escaped his kingdom in India and saw a bunch of suffering and meditated under a tree for 45 days, and that's where Buddhism became
that's beautiful.
Where it came from. And my father got me into Buddhism, and he knew. My father also got me into Star Wars and explained to me at a young age that the Jedi were Buddhists and they were samurai and all this other stuff. So this was on his finger, and he took it off and he gave it to me. And we don't have a lot of like, sorry about that moment, son, or like any of this, that, the other thing. It'll just be little moments like that. And that was nice. That was the highlight for me.
Like they just picked that up off the floor.
Yeah, I was looking for it. The thing is, I was looking for it, and then my spidey senses had just tinkled and directed me right to it. It's also very hard to masturbate with this on.
I can imagine.
I didn't know when you were going to get here, so I was really freeballing it. but yeah, it's I've got 3 pieces of jewelry. 4. I've got a ring that somebody from a Goobies gave me that I can't always wear because it turns my finger green. Yes. And I saw them in DC, and they were very sweet about it. I got this Michael Jackson piece that a fan gave me that I wear I wear every time I'm on stage or on screen to remind me.
You wear that all the time.
It's like my amulet. And this is from a love I fucked up. That is a constant reminder to. It's like a little torture thing.
It up.
I'm told when I'm allowed to give it back. So it's a constant reminder to. It's like how Darth Vader's castle is on where he lost his legs to remind him.
Did you get that necklace in Florida?
What?
The necklace?
This one?
Coastal Creative?
No, someone sent me this in.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, I had the email to read that I wanted to read to you. From Ms. Audrey Parker.
Oh, Audrey, yes.
Audrey says, you know Audrey?
She messages me, yes.
She said, a few weeks ago, I started watching Bonding and got hooked. You are hilarious. You are this is to me, so not just Tori and Troy.
That's fine.
You are a hilarious genius with super empathy. You and Tori have a fantastic dynamic. And my favorite movie also happens to be Ratatouille. At the same time, I notice how much I relate to your experience with shame. It's a vicious cycle. I've gotten much better with it in recent years, but the shame fever still hits me now and again. Anyhow, just writing to say I'm rooting for you. Me and Reggie, one of my dogs at daycare in the picture. You're an awesome human. Love, Audrey. Thank you, Audrey. That means a lot to me. And because of that, Audrey, I'm going to read to you a lot from one of Tori's favorite movies, Goodfellas. Tori, why don't you start? Why don't you start right here where it says Tommy? Okay.
I'm about to read
right
it.
where my thumb is, where it says Tommy. Okay. Read that scene right there.
You want to read this whole thing?
Just read that Tommy paragraph.
Just the Tommy part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Italians. Let's see.
Okay.
You do it, then I'll do it.
You're going to do the same thing after I do it, just to show.
I'm going to see what the difference is. This is what you get for never watching Goodfellas.
Okay, what? She don't want to go out with Italians alone? She's prejudiced against Italians. You fucking believe that? In this day and age, what the fuck in this world coming to? So I can't believe this. Prejudice against a Jew broad, prejudice against Italians. Anyway, she won't go out with me alone unless her girlfriend comes with her. So I figure you come along, you'll go out with her girlfriend.
That was good.
Thank you so much.
Here's how I would do it.
I know you're going to do it so much better.
Here's how I would do it. Okay, well, yeah, so what? She don't want to go out with Italians alone. Huh? She's prejudiced against Italians. You fucking believe that in this day and age? What the fuck is this world coming to? So I can't believe this. Prejudice against a Jew broad, prejudice against Italians. Anyway, she won't go out with me alone unless her girlfriend comes with her. So I figure you come along, you'll go out with her girlfriend. And that's how reading works.
Thank you.
I love reading screenplays.
I know you do.
We'll end this pod because you're
Where does
getting
that play
close.
into?
This is they're debating whether or not to go out with Lorraine Bracco's character, the love interest.
What is this connected to in the conversation?
Ratatouille, and you never watching Goodfellas, so I'm bringing it back up again.
No, sorry, I was giving context to the people.
Yes.
So long time ago, Troy and I were both gonna watch each other's favorite movies, and I chose Ratatouille, and he chose Goodfellas, and I got maybe 45 minutes into Goodfellas, and I stopped, which is my bad. I'll never live it down. And Troy watched Ratatouille and wrote a whole summary on it, which was quite just a breakdown of what it is, which you could have pulled off Wikipedia. No insights, no takeaways, just a straight up summary.
Troy could not tell me a single character's name from Goodfellas.
Who are the main characters of Ratatouille?
You got Linguini, you got fucking Patton Oswalt. It's been 3 years since I've seen it, and I have a fear of rats. It's not like I made you watch a movie called Commitment.
I know, you're right. Is that my biggest fear?
or reading.
I did good just then.
You did good. This is a good line.
You're making me read again?
No. This is a good line to end on to reference you.
Okay.
What could I do? There was something I could do. Don't you think I could do it? You know me. I like to help out.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
That's from Paulie.
I like that.
Yeah, Paul Servino. He just died recently. R.I.P. If you want to hear me read Goodfellas, go on my YouTube page. I read screenplays to help you go to bed at night. TroyBond.comey.io for some tour dates. After this, we're going to talk about my weekly obsessions. Tori, anything you'd like to plug?
Please follow me on Instagram. I'm really trying.
Try not to, or do
Tori
not.
Cole.
There is no try.
I'll keep doing. And my stupid podcast. Please watch and listen.
Now, pitch it like you care about it and you want people to do it. 3, 2, 1. Like, here's how we do it. Hi, I'm Tori Cole. Please follow me at Tori Cole. And if you want to check out my podcast, check out Tori's Stupid Podcast, available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. More available than where tampons are. Now, you try it.
Hey,
3,
guys.
2, 1.
Hey, what's up? Are you having a bad day and are you bored? Are you discomforted with your boredom? I think that's a word, but it doesn't matter because you can watch my stupid podcast on YouTube or you can listen to it on Apple or Spotify or wherever the fuck you want to listen. And if you want a little extra me, go on my Instagram and watch me embarrass myself daily.
That was a great plug. And if you'd like to see a couple more of my other podcasts, we have Secret Identity with Slater Harrison and Brent Birnbaum, where we talk comic books. And, of course, Certain Point of View with Troy Bond, where you'll get my unfiltered Star Wars takes that nobody asked for, but you'll be forced to listen to. As always, I love you. And it's an hour with you flies by faster than with anybody on the planet. Yeah.
That's quick.
Yeah, that's good.
Hell yeah. I love you. And I love the people listening.
I think we should see other people. That was great.